So many of you have by now have already seen the video that I did recently about the palm colored bitch, the historical palm colored bitch who decided to talk about slaves and the N word and all types of stuff on, online, whether she knew she was being recorded or not. Well, another video has come to my attention thanks to Ash and Lewis for tagging me in this post on Twitter, where you have two more girls pretty much doing about the same thing, but they appear younger. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pretty much do the same thing with this one, play the audio for you. Now this one's a bit longer because this one's about a minute. The other one was about 20 some seconds. And y'all will be able to hear what it is that they say. But pay really close attention to the one on the right of the screen because she did most of the talking.
Okay, so the N-word is not supposed to be used in a derogatory way. Yes, but
I don't care.
I don't either.
Well, like,
so if you're gonna get pissed off at the altie for me saying nigger,
let me just say this. I don't really say it to people, like, straight up, like, you're a N-word.
I
like,
usually say it to, like, joke around, but, like, we still say it. Who cares what the fuck happened to you somewhat years ago? It's not like you experienced it. I mean, I wish you could go experience it. But, I mean, I do too. Like, wouldn't it be fun to go pick some cotton? But, on the other hand, you black people are mad at us for something that happened how many years ago?
I didn't do it.
Like, we didn't do it. So stop getting pissed off at us for using the word. Bro.
Okay, so you heard that little exchange right there. Now, before I really get into it, the palm colored little. Now, let me tell you something right now. I told you this is an equal opportunity channel over here. I will call out anybody on anything. These little girls or these little bitches look like they cannot be older than 18, but you know that when it comes to palm colored, they age like bananas that have been sitting out in the sun for too long, or apple that has been bitten into and has just been left to the side and it starts to brown. So they could very well be in their 20s, but they could be also 15. Who knows? But the one that wasn't that, as you can see in the picture, the one with the darker hair, she was trying to play it safe this whole time. She was the one that she didn't want to come out right and say the N word, but it was the one that's closer to blonde that was the one making the most noise. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to play it piece by piece and give my assessment on everything that they said.
Okay, so the N-word is not supposed to be used in a derogatory way.
Okay, now I don't know if you noticed that in audio because you can't see the video. So the one girl, the one I said this like the ringleader and all this, the far right, she said, so the N-word should not be used in a derogatory. And she looked over at her friend and the girl said, wait. If you heard it, you can hear her kind of whisper. It's almost like it sounded scripted as to what was supposed to be said. Like, it's like she didn't know what was supposed to come after the word derogatory, which usually is always the word way. So it's almost like she was trying to take her cue from her. And when the girl had started off the sentence, the girl with the dark hair started laughing into her phone. I don't know if she saw something funny on her phone or what have you. That's how it all starts off.
Yes, but
I don't care.
It, like, if you was looking at this exchange we're going on right now, it looks scripted because the girl on the right keeps looking up at the girl on the left, waiting for her to say something. It's almost like, okay, what are you trying to say here? Like, get on with it. Stop. Like, why are you pausing in between your little talk?
I don't either.
Well, like,
so if you're gonna get pissed off at the altie for me saying nigger,
let me just say this. I don't really say it to people, like, straight up, like, you're a N-word.
Now, she just told on herself. The girl with the dark hair, she told on herself. The girl on the right said, if you're gonna get pissed off at me saying the word nigger, and then the other girl cut her off and said, well, I usually don't say the N-word in front of people or around people. And you know why she said that? Because she knows she would get her ass laid out and slid all up and down the sidewalk. See, they are doing this in the comfort of their own white bubble, their little white world, their little palm colored paradise, if you want to call it that. Because they know they would never have the balls, or in their case, the pussy, to say that to any of our faces and think we just gonna stand there and take it, no matter who it comes from, no matter what the age or the gender. So they have to say this stuff behind a camera like a troll, and then get online and do it where it's just them, because they would never, ever, ever do that around us. And she just said it. Let me rewind it a little bit so you can hear what she said again.
I don't either.
But like,
So if you're gonna get pissed off at the altie for me saying nigger,
let me just say this. I don't really say it to people like straight up like you're a N-word.
I
like,
usually say it to like joke around, but like
She says, I usually say it to joke around. And I'm curious, who was she joking with? That's what I'd like to know. Who in the hell is she joking with? And if it's another black person that she's letting her get away with this, they need to get slapped and slid as the same way as these two. Because there's no way in hell that us as black people could get away with even getting on camera in the comfort of our own whatever, where it's just us, and say derogatory things about another group of people, and it would be no backlash. Now, this is the second time I've had to do a video like this in the matter of a week. And again, it is that palm colored female that is doing it, and they're getting younger and younger. I'm telling you, their history or their debauchery, their prejudice, the prejudice and their racism, that is passed down to them. To the point where now I'm almost questioning it if it's genetic. Because a lot of people will say it's in their DNA. I'm starting to lean more towards that sentiment each and every day.
we still say it. Who cares what the fuck happened to you somewhat years ago? It's not like you experienced it.
And they're going with that narrative. Who the fuck cares what happened to you? They're talking about slavery now. They saying who the fuck cares what happened to you all those years ago. And then she says somewhat years ago. She didn't say all those years ago. She said somewhat years ago. As if it is like just some kind of made up thing. It's almost like she's talking about as if it was fictional. Like as if it never occurred. Now, if we was to come out the window and say anything, and I do mean anything, about that Holocaust and speak on it in a tone that she did, or even 9/11, something that's traumatic that happened to a majority of palm-colored individuals that affected mainly them, then we would get ran through the mud. They would probably beat down our doors and confiscating all types of things, and we will probably get hit with that silly ass BIE label, that whole black identity extremist thing. I'm willing to bet you that we would.
I mean, I wish you could go experience it.
Look, she went, and now this is the girl right here on the right. She says, I wish you could go experience. And her friend put her hand over her mouth and did a gasp, because I don't know if it's almost like she wasn't expecting her to say that. And she was like, oh, wow, I didn't know you was actually going to go there with it. But she did go there with it. She said that she wishes that we as black people could go back and experience slavery. What did I say when I said, sorry about that. I apologize about that. I don't know what that was that popped up on my screen. It took forever to get off of it, but okay, I'm back. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, she said that she wishes we could go back and experience slavery. What did I tell y'all? I said that this palm colored individual, this entity, it seems most of these women, no matter the age, let's say the palm colored female, wishes so bad that she could go back and probably be the slave master she always wanted to be. And I'm talking about not the one where she inherited the slaves, but the one where she was the overseer from the get-go. Like I said, give them millions of dollars and a lot of land and resources, and I bet you she would be the ringleader in rounding up as many black people as she possibly could find. Probably some of other ethnicities as well. Probably some of her own. And I'm willing to bet you she would probably be worse than the palm-colored male when it came to slavery. Because based on stories that I've heard and stories that I have read, that white woman was ruthless when it came to being an overseer of the plantation. I'm talking about downright cutthroat. After all, who did her man learn from? As far as her being the first teacher of the child, if you get what I mean.
But, I mean, I do too. Like, wouldn't it be fun to go pick some cotton?
Now look at that. She just basically told on herself. She said, well, I would too. Wouldn't it be fun to go pick some cotton? And we know damn well her lazy ass ain't gonna pick her own goddamn cotton. She gonna find some black people to go and do it for her. That's what she's talking about. She's saying, wouldn't it be some fun? It's almost like she was walking up to a little black kid right now and saying, wouldn't it be fun to go pick some cotton? She has this Miss Ann role down to a T. Now, like I said, at this point, the girl with the dark hair is still standing behind her with her hand covered. So the girl in the white is the one doing all the talking right now. Now I'm going to keep on going.
But, on the other hand, you black people are mad at us for something that happened how many years ago?
I didn't do it.
Like, we...
Okay. She says, okay, you black people are mad at us for something that happened how many years ago? And one of the girl with the dark hair spoke again, and she says, I didn't do it. But they'll have you to want to feel all kinds of sympathy for what happened with that Holocaust. Hey, guess what? We didn't do it. It was people that look like you that did that to you. Just like them opioids. We didn't do it. It's people that look like you that are doing it to you. Those mass shootings, we aren't doing it. I can't say we didn't do it because it's still going on. We aren't doing it. It's people that mainly look like you that are doing it. See, they'll never talk about that. They will never talk about that. And like I said, these are young palm-colored girls in this video. Like I'm talking about Gen Z at the most, at the least, I should say.
didn't do it. So stop getting pissed off at us for using the word.
And there's that part right there where they says, get over it. That is the typical palm-colored response when it comes to things like this. Get over it. That is exactly why I say I feel nothing when shit happens to them. Whether it is from an overdose that leads to a death or a mass shooting or those low birth rates. And that's the one they should be worried about because they are young palm-colored girls who probably one day would like to start a family. But although I would hope that they do not, because with that level of thinking, the kids are going to be fucked up. They're going to turn out probably just like them. And I feel nothing. Whenever, like I said, whenever something like this happens, that's all I can feel. I don't know why that thing keep popping. I'm about to wrap this video up before that thing pop up again. But yeah, you have now witnessed another classic example of my statement, not far removed from their ancestors, that is slowly starting to turn the tide into being, they are still to this day their ancestors. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.